Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking doing episode number 20 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my viewers' teams into the best teams possible for my team in limited and or competitive play based on how much MT they have and what their squad is currently looking like. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button to help me push towards the 18,000 subscriber mark on the channel. We're about 300 subs away, trying to hit that by the end of the month of January. I apologize for today's videos being later in the day than normal. Had a very chaotic night last night. My bad. Slept late. It is what it is. And yeah, so the videos are coming out later today. I apologize. I know that's the case, and I hope y'all still enjoy. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We upload every single day. Tons of daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, so we're going to start off with the first team today. Comes in from my boy Jazz. He says, please tell me where to put Thurl, and if the answer is nowhere, why did I grind for him? I love Jazz. This is my guy, man. If y'all don't know Jazz, y'all need to go follow him on Twitter. Show him some love. He's by far the biggest real one of the 2K Next makers. I'll say that. And his team is actually really good. This team, Thurl. The question is where to put Thurl on this squad. I don't know if I'm crazy. I think he's better. I'm like one of the highest on Thurl in this entire community. To be fair, I will admit that because I really like his release. I love his finishing. And then I think defensively, he's also very good. I like the gold brick wall. I like the Hall of Fame defensive badges outside of that. I think he fits really well at the 4 here just because I think Chet, honestly, maybe what I would consider doing would be, if this was my team, I would probably go Penny, Kobe, LeBron, Thurl, and Wimby. And then off the bench, I would have D-Book, T-Mac, Paulo, Chet, and D-Rob. That would be my 10-man lineup. I would take AK completely out. I don't think he's all that necessary. I don't know. That bench does have, it would be lacking a little bit in defense though. So maybe you go AK back up 3 and take Paulo out. For me, I just think Braun starts at the 3 in this type of lineup, and then Thurl starts at the 4. I like Thurl more than Chet because I just think he's a little more versatile defensively. I like his release a little better than Chet's as well, and I think he's better with the ball in his hands, better screen setter because he's got a higher tier brick wall. For me, I'd start Thurl at the 4. That's what I would do. It's just my opinion, though. It really is up to you. A second squad comes in from my boy Carson. He says he's running the small ball lineup off the bench. I love his starters. Small ball is, I know his favorite player is Dame, so I like this idea. And then he does have D-Rob, Luka off the end, so he can change some stuff as well. It's trying to hold off on spending more and save for the gas sig / Yao. That's a W idea for sure. Now, I'm looking at this team, and this is the same type of team where having Chet and Wimby together, I just like having one of them off the bench and one of them starting. I just like the way that it feels. It feels like it gives both of your lineups a little bit more length. Neither of them are incredible screen setters, so you can have a better screen setter in your starting lineup because neither of them are great with the brick wall or super high strength or anything like that. So for me, again, with this squad, it's almost I'd start Bam at the 4. I would take Chet and put him off the bench at the 4, and then I'd have D-Rob off the bench at the 5. That's how I would build your lineup. You could still run the small ball 1 through 3 with Dame, Clay, and Scotty, and then have Chet at the 4 and D-Rob at the 5 with Bam starting at your 4. And then you have Luka in your last 3, so you can plug him in for Dame, and then you would just have Luka, Clay, and Pippen. I kind of like that more, personally. I know that takes AK out of the lineup again, but to me, that just makes the most sense in terms of an overall lineup building. So that's how I would tweak things if I were you. Now, third squad comes in from Big Bird. He says, any suggestions help? Wants to know if they cost, even if they cost more than his NT count, he'll just grind it. Might look into replacing Kareem, but it's not a must. He grinded T-Mac. He's got Paulo, he's got Braun, he's got Kawhi, he's got D-Book and DiVincenzo. I like starting D-Book here because he needs the scoring off the bench. DiVincenzo, and I think Braun can probably carry your scoring load for the most part. And then at the end of your bench, I mean, this is a good team. When I'm looking at this team, if you're actually trying to make legit changes, Kareem is by far your weakest point. Now, the question does become, how do you want to upgrade Kareem? Because there is the grind for Wimby. Like, you could do that and try to go get him. Like, grind for some MT, go get Wimby, the best card in the game. Or not best card in the game, best center in the game, in my opinion. Obviously, there are other cheaper options as well that you could target at the center spot. You could always slide Giannis to the 5 and pick up a 4 like a Kwame Brown. I honestly kind of like that because, for example, the best 5s, you got guys like Hakeem who you can't get anymore. D-Rob already has. Wimby's a lock-in. None of the cards that really came out this past week, I would say, are great bigs. I mean, Embiid is kind of expensive, but he is the best buyable option on the auction house, in my opinion. Or not the auction house, the player market. The auction house hasn't existed all year. What am I talking about? Regardless, you got to get a center. I just think you said it's not a must, and I guess, but if you're trying to upgrade this team, the backup center position is your weakest point for sure. So if you want to slide Giannis to the 5 and look to pick up a 4, somebody like a Bam Adebayo or Kwame Brown, that's an option. If you want to go budget 5, you could go like a Miles Turner. And if you want to go for an expensive 5, I would target somebody like Joel Embiid. To me, those are the types of guys that I'd be targeted to upgrade this squad. Now, 14 today comes in from Stork. He's got 512 KMT. Says he just pulled Gary Payton. Needs a scoring shooting guard to replace Jimmy. And you have scoring, though. I mean, you do have Carmelo, and I mean, Dante DiVincenzo is, I think Dante DiVincenzo is better than GP personally because he gives you a little more offensively, in my opinion. Paulo as a bench option as well to potentially replace Carmelo or even Hakeem, I like. I like Chet more than Hakeem. I like Paulo more than Hakeem. I like both of them more than Hakeem at the power forward position, honestly. So for me, I would just start probably with this team, since D-Rob's your center, I would start Chet at the 4, and then I would bring Hakeem off the bench. And honestly, I'd probably run Hakeem. You can't run Hakeem and Hibbert together, so you got to pick between Hakeem and Hibbert who you like more, and then play them with Paulo. And I'd put Paulo back at 4, and then Hakeem or Hibbert back at 5. That's how I would do it. Now, if you look at the rest of your lineup, it's 1 through 3 with GP, Jimmy, Carmelo, and then DiVincenzo and Curry as options off the bench as well. Point guard position is fine. Shooting guard, I mean, a scoring shooting guard to replace Jimmy. The only options for scoring shooting guards right now that are buyable on the player market, realistically, that I think are actually good, your best option is probably Desmond Bane. Honestly, if you're looking for cards that you can't lock in, if you're looking for a card who could create his own shot off the bench, Desmond Bane is probably your guy. At that point, though, if you're going to run somebody like Desmond Bane, it hurts your size, and to me, it's like you have to have a more physical small forward. So at that point, you would need a bigger, more like I don't know. It's so tough with a team like this because, I mean, your starting lineup is great. Maybe you start Paulo I would go D-Book, T-Mac, AK, Chet, D-Rob. That's still your starting lineup. Off the bench, Gary/Dante, Desmond Bane, Paulo, Hakeem, and Hibbert. Probably. For right now. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I think that's the best way that you can build this lineup. Gives you the shot creation off the bench. Gives you some size and defense still. I think you'll be all right. JB10 has Book, Artest, Strother, and Beasley sellable. He's got 110K. Trying to get his squad ranked. I got you. I will say, I know a lot of people are submitting their teams. I can really only get to about 6 or 7 lineups per video. I only do this series about once a week. I know there's been more and more people submitting their teams as I continue to upload it, so I apologize for the people whose teams I'm not able to get to. I try my best. I'm trying to get to different people each week as well, and I will continue to try to do that, so hopefully eventually I will get to your squad if you are submitting your team. And this team is not bad, but Şengün at the 4 doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I don't hate the card, but I think you can definitely do better than him. I understand he's probably your unsellable player that you got from the Diamond Pack, but Booker Artest is really good. I mean, they're both sellable, I guess, but they're both really good as well. They're 2 of your best cards. Paulo is amazing, not unsellable. I mean, you have him, you have Victor. You really need a 4-ish, but you don't. Do you really need a 4? Like, Paulo could play your 4, and you could put somebody at the 3. Strother's a beast. I don't hate him actually off the bench at all. James Jones and Jarace Walker aren't going to play. Cade and LaMelo Beasley, Mobley, Ayton. This is one of those teams, 100K, 150K. You like Beasley, so you probably want to keep him then. Okay, you're grinding for Thurl too. So the lineup probably should be D-Book, Ron, Paulo, Thurl, and Wimby. That's your starting lineup set. Beasley can come off the bench. Strother can come off the bench. Mobley can come off the bench. And I don't hate Ayton, although I would replace Ayton with Miles Turner. Go a little cheaper. That's probably what I would do off your bench. And then your bench point guard, honestly, I know LaMelo's subbed or locked in, but for me, you could use some more options. Dante DiVincenzo for 84K is such a steal. Would give you a bench of Dante, Strother, Beasley, Mobley, and Miles Turner. And to me, that 5-man bench with Thurl replacing Şengün in your starting lineup makes the most sense to me right now. So that's probably what I would target with that squad. And then the last team today comes in from Drizzle. He has he says he's wondering about the weekend league, and he's also a weekend to my team. This is a really good team for being a weekend to my team. I'm not going to lie. Has himself T-Mac. His bench is questionable, but his starting lineup is really good. 55K is not enough MT right now to make a huge upgrade. He says he needs a bigger, better PG. He's right. He does need a better PG. Jalen Green sucks. Buddy Hield sucks. Trey Murphy's fine. DeAndre Ayton's fine. Julian Strother's good. He should be playing over Buddy Hield. He should be your backup shooting guard. Michael Redd sucks. You kind of need defense, realistic. Well, you need a point guard, and if you need a point guard, you need a small forward. You need a little more MT is realistically what you need. You need about 50K more MT to work with, I think, and your team would be looking a lot better because you need a, I mean, Aiton's good, but you could use an upgraded backup center. I would say point guard position could go, well, if you want to go cheap, you go Dante Exum. I would try to just make some more MT this week and work towards a 10-man lineup of Dante DiVincenzo, T-Mac, Budget 3X, who I'm kind of just drawing a blank right now, who I would put at the 3, Thurl Bailey, and Embiid. With off the bench, you'd have Suggs, Franz, Suggs, Strother, Franz, and then Trey Murphy and Ayton temporarily. So you really just need a 3 at that point if you were to buy DiVincenzo. And there are a lot of buyable 3s that are really solid options. It all just depends what you're wanting and who you're wanting, because a guy like Luol Deng is pretty affordable now. He's a guy I'd potentially consider. That card's been out for a while. If you could target him potentially, he could be a really, really nice upgrade. Dennis Rodman, if you're willing to do his Evo, would be another awesome upgrade at the 2. It just kind of depends what you want and what you're looking for right now. I should have said at the 3. Even a guy like Kawhi Leonard could be great at the 3. There's a lot of options for sure for this team, but you're really just needing a 3. I would get Dante DiVincenzo for sure at the 1, though. And I think that is it for this team. Hopefully that helps you out. And that is going to do it for today's episode. So I hope you all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll try to get to new people next week. And yeah, hope you all did enjoy. If you did, like I said, hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Trying to hit 18K. It's going to do it for this video. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.